Hey, what's up? So lately I've been getting this question quite often. What camera do you think I should buy? And that all depends on what kind of shooting you're going to be doing. Are you going to be doing more pictures or are you going to be doing more videos? Also, you have to take into consideration what's your budget. How much money do you have to invest into a camera, okay? Now, also, another factor that you might want to look into is what are you going to be using this for? Are you going to be using it for a hobby? Are you going to be using it for professional work so you can possibly make money in the future? What's your skill level? How much do you know about cameras? So these are all questions that you need to ask yourself. So when I first started, I got the Sony a6400, and I believe that is a perfect starter camera because it helps you to achieve good pictures and good video quality while you're learning how to set your exposure, how to color grade, how to set your composition. So it's a great camera for those who are just getting started, and it's priced very fairly. So with the a6400, I believe at the time when I bought it, I paid $1,500, and I got a lens, a kit lens. It was like a, what is it, a 16 to 100. I got it right here. It was a 18 to 135 millimeter lens. So you have a wide range that you can take advantage of, okay? Now, once I got used to using that camera, I started to notice that there was some downsides to it. The price point was really great. The image quality was great, but it was an APS-C, so meaning it's a crop sensor. It's not a full frame sensor, so you're not allowed to capture as much that you can with a full frame camera. And when I say APS-C and full frame, so this is a full frame right here, full frame sensor, and it's much larger than an APS-C lens would be. And also on the lenses, full frame lenses, they are rectangular, and APS-C, they're circular. And the way to know that is you'll just look at the lens, and on the lens it'll say FE or FC, I believe. FE is full frame, okay? Now, the Sony a6400, great camera, 24 megapixels, so you'll be able to take good looking images and you'll be able to crop into it if needed. And you also get 4K 120 frames per second. So that's ideal. You'll be able to capture great videos and great pictures. The only downfall, I think, is the crop sensor. Now, if you want to increase your budget, you have a little bit more money, you can also look at the Sony a7 IV. I think this is a beast of a camera. It's a in between, okay? So you're gonna have great pictures and you're gonna have great video quality, and you're also gonna have 10-bit video quality. So another downfall of the a6400 is that it's only an 8-bit codec, so you can't really manipulate the colors or color grade that much before the image starts to fall apart. But with the a7 IV, you're able to manipulate the colors, shoot in S-Log3 and color grade. You get much higher dynamic range, where that means your highlights versus your shadows, you're able to capture more highlights and more shadows at the same time. So you want to look for a camera if you're doing video that has good dynamic range, and I believe that the a7 IV does that, okay? And that's retailing for about $2,500 right now, and I believe that is a 33 megapixel camera. Let's see, so the a7 IV is, yes, it's a 33 megapixel camera. I haven't used that one personally, but I've saw the reviews, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I believe it's a great entry-level camera for someone that's looking to do professional work. Now, let's say you have a bigger budget and you're more oriented to video. I highly recommend getting this beast right here, and this is the Sony a7S III. You have great dynamic range, so you're gonna capture the highlights, you're gonna capture the shadows, you're gonna have a really good roll off, you're not really gonna blow things out, and you also have a 12 megapixel sensor. The lower the megapixels on the sensor, the better low light capabilities you'll have from the camera. So the a7S III is a low light beast. So if you're gonna be shooting at nighttime and you want a camera that can capture that without having a lot of noise or artifacts in it, you want to go with the a7 A7S III. It has a dual native ISO of 640 and 12,800 ISO. So you can go really high and still capture a really good looking image. And the great thing about it is that it's a 10-bit codec. So you're able to push and play with the color grading a lot more. Okay. So I would say the Sony A7S III for professional is great for videos, and if you want to look for a beast of a camera when it comes to pictures, I highly recommend looking into, I started with the Sony A7R IV, beast of a camera. It was about, I believe, 50 megapixels, and it just took really, really sharp images. Okay, I absolutely loved that camera, and as time progressed, I started researching the Sony A1. The Sony A7R IV, I believe, was a 60 megapixel camera. Absolutely insane. Like, you can shoot billboard size pictures with this camera. Okay, you can blow it up, you can crop in really tight. Like, you don't even have to worry about composition because you can just do that in post and not lose any video quality. But like I was saying, I went for the A1, which is a beast of a camera, okay? But it also has a beast of a price. You're looking at about $6,500 after taxes, about $7,000 for this camera. And what I really love about this camera is that this camera can shoot in 8K. Now, you don't really have much use for 8K right now. Like, if you look at YouTube, Instagram, anything like that, they're still using HD 1080p. But what it allows me to do is I can shoot in 8K and downsample it down to 1080p and have a really crisp looking image. That's why my videos look the way they do, is because it's getting the information from an 8K sensor and downsampling it to 1080p. Okay, now this camera is a sports camera. It's an action camera, so it's really, really fast. And what I'm noticing is that with this camera, I don't have to worry about my shots being in focus because they're always in focus. The eye auto focus on this camera is absolutely insane. The image quality, absolutely insane. It's tack sharp every single time. And I can use this as a picture or video camera. Now, it's not necessarily geared to be a video camera, but you can still use it as a video camera, okay? And yeah, it's really, really weird because I also, right now I'm filming on the Sony FX6, which is a cinema camera, and it's a absolute monster. I love it, and it only does video, but sometimes the form factor of the A1 is much smaller. You can take off the grip, and then you're just looking at the camera like this. So I have the grip on here, so that way I can carry 2 batteries in there, so I get more battery life on that, okay? And it helps with my vertical shooting. When I want to shoot like a vertical picture, I can still do it like that and have a button right there. So it's just like I'm still holding the camera upright, okay? Now, again, it all depends on your budget and what you can afford. So if you're planning to make money from this, then I say invest it. If you have the money, spend it, buy the top of the line stuff and learn how to master that. If you're just doing this for a hobby, you're just trying to learn, I would go on the low end and figure it out. And as time goes on, if you think this is your passion and you want to go into it more, then you start investing in more expensive gear. So what did we learn today? We learned that if you're just entry level, a good camera for you would probably be the Sony a6400. It's going to give you 24 megapixels, and you're going to also have 4K 120. Okay, now if you want something in between, I highly recommend the Sony a7 IV, which gives you 33 megapixels, and you also have 10-bit codec, so you can shoot an S-Log3 and really have really nice looking images along with S-Cinetone. Okay, now if you do have the money, you can go for the A7S III, which is a video beast, and the picture quality isn't that bad, because when my A1 was in the shop, I had to use my A7S III to do my real estate photos, and those photos came out looking really, really good. So if you got the money and you're really into video, go for the A7S III. And if you got more money and you really want to step it up and really separate yourself from everyone, go get the A1 and you'll have pictures and video, and that could be your go-to camera. So if you guys have any questions about camera gear, camera equipment, editing, anything, just reach out. Like, I'm here to help. I don't care sharing my secrets. I don't care sharing what I've learned, because that's what it's about, helping your fellow helping your fellow man improve and become better. And I think if you help someone, they'll help someone, and everyone helps each other. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys learned something.